everybody, I'm back. I'm actually going to be bringing a nice fun video today. I am going to do 10 books in my collection that I do not like the covers of. I'm probably going to reword that for the title, but that's what this is. These are 10 books in my collection where I don't like the covers. It doesn't necessarily mean I've read the books, but I seen Bryce from Shelf Center do this, and then I also saw Chaz from Bookish Chaz also do this, and I was like, this is fun, because I want to talk about book covers I don't like. But then I also realized, as I was going through my collection, this was hard. Because I am a book cover buyer, I will go out of my way to buy a particular cover. If I don't like the US cover, I will go and I will look at the UK cover, and if I like that more, I will buy the UK version. If I don't like either one, it's a toss-up, and then I'm like, this one's not as bad as that one. It's just what I do, because I like looking at an aesthetically pleasing cover, and there are certain types of covers that I just don't care for, which you will find out in this video. But yeah, I realized this was a lot harder than I thought, and I ended up being able to have 5 books from my mass market collection, because when it comes to mass markets, you don't really, especially older ones, when it comes to older mass markets, you don't really have much of a choice in cover design. You really don't. So a good chunk of them came from my mass markets, but then I was able to get another, so half is from my mass markets and half is from newer books that have come in where I've just been kind of like, about it. So, and I'm gonna try and do it in like least favorite to from like the least to like the least. Does that make sense? Like I only kind of don't like this one, but I really don't like this one. Like, we're gonna try and do it in that order. But at the same time, I didn't really take the time to like internally rank any of these. There's really only one book where I know it is the one that I dislike the most. So it will be in the #1 spot, but everything else, I feel like it's kind of there. But I will say that the newer books, those are gonna be in like the first 5. And the mass markets are gonna be in the top 5. So yeah. So anyways, with that said, this has been a long introduction, way too long. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this. So starting at number 10, this is a very picky personal reason as to why I don't like this cover, but we're gonna go with The Righteous by David Ragg. This is book 2 in, what is the Articles of Faith. So first of all, I would like to say that this art is actually very beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's not terrible art. My problem is the fact that the first book had Richard Anderson do the cover. And I'm a whore for that man's art. Like, that's the nicest way to put it. I love his art. I have bought so many books just because his art was on the cover. That was honestly why I bought the Black Hawks, was because his art was on the cover. So when the second one came out and it was a new artist, I was like, what? Why? I was very upset. Like I said, it's not bad art. It's not. Let's move Jupiter real quick. But this is just, for me, this is just more aesthetically pleasing to look at, whereas this is just kind of like, oh, okay. Like I said, like, it's not bad art. It's great art. It's amazing art. I really love the ambiguousness that Richardson creates with his art. Whereas this is like, this is what everyone looks like, so this is what you're gonna envision at all times. Whereas this, like, I have a little bit of play. I have a little bit of play of being able to envision my characters. This gives me like a base. This is like, this is what they look like. this is what they have to look like in your head from now on at all times. And I hate cover art like that. I really do. I hate cover art that goes all in on creating the way the character looks. I just so there's a lot of YA books that I don't like, but there's a few that do get the slip and I do end up liking them. But this was just more so how drastically, like, I appreciate the new artist. What is their name? Let's not be rude. Gavin Reese. I appreciate Gavin Reese attempting to create the same vibe as the first cover. I do appreciate keeping it with the black and white and focusing on the team, but I just don't like how precise it is. And I wanted Richard Anderson's art because I wanted the whole set to be in his art. So again, very picky reason. Next, we have Tad Williams' Brothers of the Wind. This is just, it's a letdown because I have Empire of Grass. Yeah, Empire of Grass and the Witchwood Crown. And those covers are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And then I've seen other Tad Williams covers where they're breathtaking. They're beautiful. And then this is like, where's the dragon one? Red. And then what's worse is I know the third book for the last, what is it? The Last King of Austenard. I swear I read, guys. Is gonna look like this, only gray, but with like a helmet. And I'm like, so it's not gonna match. Cool. So yeah, I'm very disappointed in the direction and the directional change that they went with Tad Williams covers. Not good. After that, we have All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This is boring. I don't like font covers. I don't. I absolutely don't. They do nothing to entice me to pick them up. I glance over them, and this is like the top of the top of like, I have a couple of other books that do have like only the font, like it's just the title for the cover. And, I'm like, it's all right, I guess. But this is the most boring one that I have. But this is only in my collection because it was a Goldsboro subscription book. If this wasn't a Goldsboro subscription book, I would not own this. I wouldn't even give it any attention. And I know that's probably bad to say because there's probably so many books that are great that are hidden behind a cover that only has font. It just says All of Us Villains. Really, all of you villains. Cool story, bro. After that, we have another just me being picky. It's Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This is actually the Waterstones special edition. I have the regular edition and I like it so much more, and it's because of the color scheme. They're the exact same book, but the colors are different. Here's the regular edition. Just the black makes it pop more. When I ordered this, I also hadn't read the book yet. I have read it since. It was like a 3-star for me. I thought I was gonna fall in love with it, which is why I was like, oh, let me order the special edition. And then when I was kind of like meh about it, after it came in and I really sat and looked at the two of them, I was like, I hate this. I hate it. I don't like the white. I feel like it just kind of like, it takes away the dramaticness of it. Like, I feel like the black and the blue with the gold is like so dramatic, and this is like, Ariadne. And you're like, oh, okay. And I feel like the gold pops better on this as opposed, because like, I mean, you can just kind of see like the gold just kind of like pops. So yeah, again, another silly kind of stupid reason as to why I don't like this cover. All right, so after that, this is another Goldsboro book that was a subscription that I would not have bought with like on my own. The Embroidered Book Now, when you first look at it, you're kind of like, okay, like there's two ladies and it's supposed to look like a book that's been embroidered, you know, like it's supposed to look like a book. I don't like it. Maybe it's because I don't like all of like this kind of like decorative look in general. The cover just, it really doesn't do much for me. I actually have to say without it, it's so much better. Like I kind of wish they had just gave us the naked book because that's 1,000 times prettier than the actual cover itself. I just don't care for it. It doesn't entice me. I would not have picked this up on my own. This is another book that I would have just kind of like overlooked. I would have been like, oh, that's pretty. Anyways, this one is going to be like a little 3-piece set. They're not separate. They're from the same series, but it was a design idea that they started going towards, with quite a few of the last couple of books in this series, because I have like 2 hardcovers that also reflect this style. And it's some of the Dragon Riders of Pern series. They just, when you look at the other covers, there's like the whole, it's like someone painted an entire picture for it. You know, you've got like your scenery, the dragon, the people, like, and this is just like 2 lines and some dragons. Like, where's the fire in the picture? It's not existent at all. So like I know a couple of these have other variations where they actually depict like a full-on like picture scene that you would probably read in the story, but I can't find them. I can't find them. I keep finding these stupid versions. I hate them. Black Horses for the King by Anne McCaffrey. I just think it's terribly photoshopped together. It's just terribly photoshopped together. I only picked it up because it is a King Arthur story, and I didn't know she wrote a King Arthur story, and I love King Arthur, but yeah, I just think it's terribly photoshopped together. So the dragon in Lioness, who knows? It's just, I'm like, what is this supposed to be telling? The Dragon Knight returns to help King Arthur? Why did I never read that before? This is part of a series, a 7-book series by Gordon R. Dickinson, and I didn't know that there's like King Arthur stuff written inside of it. We all just discovered that together. But anyways, so yeah, it doesn't give. It doesn't give. I don't like it. Like I look at it and I'm just like, whatever. It's a tiny dragon flying over the ocean, I guess. These last two are probably the ones that I genuinely despise being in my collection. So first we have Daggers Point by Anne Logsdon. What is this? What is this? Why? Why? This is, look, I'm all for like centaurs, satyrs, mermaids, you know, where half the body is a person and half the body is an animal. I'm not down with an animal head, a man body, and then an animal body. Like it's an animal head, a man's chest, and then an animal lower half. Like, what is this? This is a thing of nightmares. This is a creature of nightmares. Why? I don't. Like, and as far as I know of, it's the only cover for this book. And finding it was a chore anyways. And it was my friend who found it, because she's amazing like that. But I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. All right. And the last book, another one that I so thoroughly despise. It's from the same series by Gordon R. Dickinson. Dixon. Sorry, I just realized I said that wrong. Dixon. And they're separate because they're vastly different. That dragon creeps me out. I don't like it at all. This dragon gives me creepy vibes. And I love dragons. I am a person who loves dragons. But this, like, I mean, like, look at his face for one. Like, the face, the body structure. Like, what are we? It's called The Dragon and the Fair Maid of Kent. I realize I didn't tell you guys the title. What is this? And again, this is another case of, I'm pretty sure this is the only cover that exists. And I'm just like, because I have all 7 books because I wanted to read it. And when my friend found this one and sent it to me, I was like, I don't want that in my collection. I don't want that on my bookshelves. I don't like it. I don't like. No. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.